Hi friends, welcome back to RN Nurse Prepper channel, and today we're starting another vlog on vlogging every day in April, and this is going to be about autism living. And so today we're going to start with feelings. Tell me about your feelings. How does that make you feel? Just kidding. Okay, I'm being silly, but we are talking about no more feelings of sadness, and we are talking about, last video we talked about the loss of previously acquired skills. I was talking to you about how some family members in my family had experienced this as children, and they lost their ability to speak and say words, and that could be really devastating to a parent, especially if you have heard them say mom, dad, dada, and all of a sudden they don't say that anymore. So that could be devastating, but also the diagnosis or the suspicion that your child may have a diagnosis of autism. And so today I want to share a couple more of those things that we have experienced in our family with some of the children in our family members that we have seen, and some of those symptoms. And some of the things are, for example, you can have a child in the corner of a room and they can play there all day without interruptions. They could just sit there and play all day, whether they like dinosaurs or trains or what have you, or they can sit there and spin wheels on a truck, on a little play truck, all day long, and they would be just happy as a clam, just being there in their corner in their own little world. That's what that would look like. They also, like I said, spinning wheels on the truck, so they're not playing appropriately with toys. They're either smashing them against the wall or doing something other than rolling the little cars on the floor as a typical child would. I hate to get into the typical and non-typical, but it is what it is. What you would call normal, I guess, if you will. Some children may point versus speaking. They can't ask you for juice, or they can, but they won't. So you really have to coach them into using their words, or even just pointing, because a lot of times they have a lot of difficulty with communication. So they will cry instead of, pointing or asking you. So it all starts with guiding them into pointing that they want juice, but then eventually you want to coach them into saying the word juice, at least juice, I want juice, or if nothing else, not the word, not the whole sentence, I want juice, but just juice would be a great improvement. Another thing with the sensory, we were talking about the sensory too last time. Sometimes as a baby, it's hard to tell when you have a baby because they're young children, they can't communicate as it is, but you'll start to see some differences. For example, you'll see like reluctance to hugs. Like you may hug your baby and all of a sudden, or maybe you're feeding them and you're trying to hug them or cuddle them a little bit more, and they may be like pulling back. Some may kind of push their neck backwards and just arch their back away from you a lot, or it seems like they're bothered by your hugs. And sometimes they actually might seek some sensory input, and they may be more on the undersensitive, like hyposensitive, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So they're going to seek that sensory input, so they're going to need the hugs, the tight hugs. So when they get older, like maybe as 1 or 2 year olds, you might notice that they really kiss you really hard, maybe on the cheek. They might kiss you a little bit too hard, harder than usual, and they may seek that input. They may jump up and down on the bed all day. They may run around in circles all day. They're seeking that sensory input. But like I said, they can also not tolerate any hugs, or also they may fail to reciprocate some emotions. So you may smile at them, they don't smile back, they don't look at you. and stuff like that. Stuff. So know that as a parent, this is not your fault. It is not something that you caused in pregnancy. You know, it is easy as parents to play the blaming game. So keep that in mind and really try to hone into that and stop yourself when you're thinking those things, because, and even on yourself, because you can't blame yourself for something that, you know, was beyond your control. They used to have a theory where they used to say the refrigerator mother or something. You know, like the refrigerator is cold, so the mother was too. I had a refrigerator mother and I turned out just fine. I'm just kidding. Anyway, sorry, Mom. Anyway, you know what I mean. Don't play the blaming game. It is not your fault. You know, there's another theory out there. There's gene related, environmental. Who knows? And who cares is what I say. What's important is that you learn together as a couple how to help your child to get the services they need to be as very independent as they can be, and a full-fledged functional adult that is happy and healthy. And that's all that really matters. Now, there is a very high risk incidence of divorce when it comes to parenting children with autism, because there's a lot of these things that tend to divide couples. So you want to make sure that you get some support if you're going through a very difficult or stressful time in your life in relation to, you know, getting a new diagnosis. And just know that it really does get better, you know, as time goes on and you really inform yourself and, you know, you learn better about what this new world of learning will, you know, will be involved in. I guess you'll learn better coping strategies yourself, is what I'm trying to say, to deal with these situations and to go through this together, because you have to unite instead of separating. Yeah, so I will talk to you. There's many more things I wanted to tell you, but time's up already, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for watching, and remember to be healthy, well, happy, and organized, and many blessings to you.